In a world full of distractions, there is one big question on every dog owner's lips.
How do I become more than just the person holding the other end of the leash?
We all get dogs with a dream in mind, a vision of the future. And if right now your everyday reality isn't quite that picture you had in mind, you are in the right place.
It really doesn't have to be this way.
You absolutely can and will be more to your dog than just the person who gets in between them and the world.
The key is you need to be more sexy.
More sexy than the neighbourhood cat.
More sexy than the jogger in the park.
More sexy than that half-eaten hamburger they just found on the floor.
And yes, even more sexy than the dog across the road.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Lauren.
Together we're absolute dogs.
And you're listening to the Sexier Than a Squirrel podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Sexier Than a Squirrel podcast, the podcast that teaches you how to train your dog like a pro. And funnily enough, today is the day that the Like a Pro 14-day challenge kicks off.
Oh my God, it's kick off day. Are you excited? Are you energized? Are you vibing it up? Literally, we are energized by this idea.
Yeah. And if you haven't yet got your ticket, well, what are you waiting for?
For those of you that are thinking, what is this? Like, what's this even about? I don't even know. I've not even heard it. I'm just catching up. Actually, this is your opportunity. An opportunity potentially of a lifetime.
Yeah, because what we're going to do over the next 14 days is we're going to be teaching you how to train your dog like a pro. And for those of you that want to, how to train every dog like a pro and move towards that dream of working with dogs.
Now, for those of you that actually have no intention of working with any dogs, I know for a fact that being able to homeschool your dog, being able to solve problems, come up with solutions, take yourself to a whole new learning space with your dog feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good, it feels better, it feels energizing, and actually it's empowering. And those days where you might feel like, actually, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not qualified to own my dog. I'm maybe doing a bad job by a naughty but nice dog, or maybe my dog just would be better somewhere else. Actually, this is your avenue, your opening to making your own life a little bit easier and actually training your dog like a pro.
Exactly, because you know that whether it be that your dog is unpredictable with other dogs or jumps up at your visitors or barks a lot, actually not knowing what to do just feels rubbish. It feels the worst. And when you have the certainty of what to do, how to tackle this, how to move this forward, actually, even though you're still working on the struggle, you feel good because you've got this. You know you're heading in the right direction. You're not second guessing yourself.
There's that song, I'm not going to sing it, but it makes you feel good. And you know what? You do feel a lot better when you've got that plan, when you've got that backup, when you've got that team, when you've got that like knowledge and that field of knowledge behind you. And I remember owning my very first naughty but nice dog, Poppy. She was my very first own dog, and she was challenging, high drive, high chase, very, very interested by little animals and dogs and people and everything, to be honest. And actually the thing that made me feel the worst, I suppose, Tom, is not having the knowledge or the ability to find it. And so what I would do is I would sort of gravitate towards any trainer that might give me some information, whether that be, and Poppy, sadly for Poppy really, and for me, we experienced disc training, spray collar training, electric collar suggestions. I never went down that route with her, but she had every collar put on her or disc training. I remember someone just throwing these noisy discs at the floor, and so she went through quite I remember a day with chains. I mean, a lady throwing like chains at the back of her legs, and so many different aversive methods that I know we would never ever have opened sort of the door on, other than pure desperation. And please, if you've ever been there, don't feel awful about having been there. Feel great as to having been awakened and enlightened to actually have found out more. And this is your opportunity to know more, right, Tom?
Absolutely. And so what we're going to be doing over the next 14 days, and those of you jumping into the challenge, don't panic if you're about to, I don't know, head off on a cruise. You get to access this for life. We're going to be covering all of the geeky stuff, the dog behavior knowledge we're going to be giving you. We're going to be covering the practical game playing. We're also going to be doing a bit of coaching of you as well on how you can train your dog like a pro and train every dog like a pro if you wish. And we're going to be doing live teaching every day, Facebook support group. It's going to be really cool. you can grab your spot on the challenge. Literally, it kicks off today if you're listening to this on the day that it's been released.
Woo!
And you can get your ticket by going to absolutedogs.me/likeapro, and using that link, you're going to get a 70% discount. So it's actually over 70%. So it's only £27 or $32.
Which is an insane amount of value for that amount, right? £27. I think we should probably just say about that additional cool opportunity, Tom, because there's a really cool additional opportunity.
Absolutely. So everybody who is jumping into the challenge, guess what? You are going to get a free ticket to something, okay? And that free ticket is to a special seminar that we're doing, a day seminar that's live streamed all over the world, so you can take part in it wherever you are. And we're going to be covering some stuff that's really going to be a game changer for your dog and transforming their behavior. But also, we're going to be exploring what your world would look like when you are designing your day, when you take control of your finances by becoming a pro dog trainer, and when you become the ripple, you become that person that you were looking for when you made yourself vulnerable, you put yourself out there and you said, actually, world, I need help with my dog's struggles. And I can bet you got all kinds of terrible advice that led you down a road where maybe you did things to your dog that you really didn't want to do.
Let's be honest, that might make you feel guilty. And I for sure had many a time over, especially as Poppy got older, feeling bad about that, like feeling bad. And rather than put all of that energy into feeling bad, how about jump in the challenge and actually jump in with both feet and all arms and legs and everything. Let's get involved, let's get immersed, and let's feel good about what we can do, not I suppose disempowered by what we did wrong, because let's be honest, you can't change that. And so I know when I look back on Poppy and all of the things that, like I said, especially as she got older, especially as she got sweeter and kinder and easier, let's be honest, because we were doing all the right things and she was getting a little bit more mature. I remember some days feeling really terrible about putting her through some of the training methods and people that we'd paid in good faith to give us a hand. Actually, let's not make ourselves feel bad. Let's make ourselves feel good by doing what we can do, which is training our own dogs like a pro, if that's the very, very basic start, right?
Yeah. Now, the cool thing is that you get this free ticket to this seminar, as well as the challenge and all its lessons and the live teaching in the challenge group and whatever else. If you show up for that seminar live and you bring the energy, not only did you get the ticket to the seminar for free, but you're going to get £50 of a £50 coupon that you can spend in the Absolute Dog store.
What?
So you pay £27 or $32 for the challenge, and yet when you turn up to that bonus seminar, you're going to get a £50 coupon for the Absolute Dog store.
A bit of a VIP seminar because you joined the challenge.
I mean, to put it bluntly, you make a profit.
So basically, join the challenge, get the VIP ticket to the seminar. So you're a bit of a VIP. You get to come for free because we want you there. And at that point, we here at Absolute Dogs have said that we will definitely give you £50 store credit. You are going to make a profit.
Get that £50 coupon.
This is like, it's no longer a dog training podcast. It's actually investment. Like literally, you are going to do well here.
You can only do it once.
You're going to do well here. Look at Tom.
So that's the limit. You can do it once. So guys, we thought we would dedicate this episode of the podcast to the challenge that's kicking off today. And we thought we'd give you some sneak peeks into what's going to happen in the challenge.
A little bit of a sneaky inside the doors.
So if you haven't yet got your ticket to the challenge, all you got to do is head to absolutedogs.me/likeapro. Okay, it's the Like a Pro challenge, the Like a Pro 14-day challenge, and I can tell you, I'm just looking at all the things that we've got to cover here, and on the very first day, you're actually going to learn about the 3 different ways that you can train your dog, and about the way that you need to be training your dog, that when you start training your dog in this way, just through a little change in the way that you do things, you really start to see massive momentum in your results. And it actually, you move away from a world of telling your dog what to do all the time, managing them, firefighting, and actually your dog makes the right choices.
Now, this moment of momentum can really make you feel good. Like you're going to get a bit of a high off this, because as soon as you get that momentum, them, as soon as you get that little bit of a build up, that little bit of it's that excited feeling in your tummy. And if you've missed it, well, you're here now. The thing is, you are going to feel good after doing this. So not only is it good for your dog and your dog training, it's actually good for you like a pro.
Yeah, absolutely. Next thing that you're going to learn on the challenge is you are going to learn all about this idea of dog body language and what it really means, and how through what we're going to teach you, you are going to actually be able to transform your dog's behavior by understanding it better.
We're not going to give you much more than that, because we know that you're going to literally dive in with us, and I don't want to give away the secrets on that one.
No. Next thing that you're going to learn in the challenge, and this is in no particular order, I might add, just to confuse you even more, you're going to learn about what is really the foundation of reactivity. A dog that barks and lunges at things, or a dog that's reactive to the world.
Both Tom and I, very commonly in our day-to-day, we get to see this. This is a big deal. So whether this is your own dog and you want to train your own dog like a pro, or whether this is actually a potential opportunity for you because you know that people all over the world want help with this, we are going to help you here.
In fact, I've got a story about that. I was working with an amazing couple yesterday, and it was in the context of a behaviour consult, and they had been referred to me in the UK by a vet in Canada, okay? And they were amazing. And they'd been specifically referred to me from Canada because the other referral options in their area actually were going to just dispense drugs. They were just going to be given drugs, sent away without a plan, and in turn the behaviour was going to stay the same. The owners, as I was telling them about the plan, they started to cry, and they were they found it
It's relief.
Emotional, because they thought they were left with three options: either drugs and no plan, and fingers crossed they work. Second is using some kind of tool on your dog. Or third is actually saying goodbye to your dog. And that's sometimes what we're dealing with.
And I think the thing is, and I had someone at the training centre only yesterday who they were at the difficult point of having to hand over their dog, or potentially have their dog euthanized and put to sleep, in exactly the same context, because of not having a plan, and then actually having a long period of time of just living with a really difficult struggle and living with a really difficult area. And actually they did come to us at the training centre, and actually again bringing that plan to light, coming up with a plan that is very bespoke to them, very niche to them, very much about what they need, and specifically to their needs. And I think it's really important that we know that these things they're not uncommon. People are crying out for help like this each and every day. In fact, you might be that person that is crying out for help. You might be that person looking for a plan. You might be that person that's saying, hey, I haven't got this, I don't know what I'm doing. So please don't feel that the challenge couldn't be for you if you are that person. If you're that person that's saying, I don't know what to do, my dog is too difficult for this, I did not sign up for this, actually, you know what, this is exactly the right space for you.
The next thing that's going to that we're going to be tackling in the challenge is actually the vital skills that if you teach your dog these really vital skills, and teach any dog these vital skills, they'll actually be really easy to live with and be an amazing companion, even if they don't know any cues or commands.
And I think this is what the majority of dog owners all over the world would like more than anything else. Actually, can I just have a nice companion? I know that only a few weeks ago when Nifty was off chasing sheep, and that is a whole new episode, but when she was doing that, for my number one for her is still a nice pet.
Yeah.
Like, she needs to be a nice pet. And actually, nice pets can't be doing things like that, because it's just going to get you in trouble, and it's going to cause an issue. And for anyone listening, there was a big fence there, and there was no way she got anywhere near them. They're on our own land, so it was on our own field. But for me, it just woke me up again to the reason that most people get a dog in the first place is they want a fantastic pet. You are no different to anybody else. Actually, this is something that we can absolutely work with you on.
Next thing that you're going to learn in the challenge is actually how to play with your dog. How should you play with your dog? How could you play with your dog in such a way that it actually is a learning experience?
How can you be a better dog trainer for your dog? How can you show your dog or show up for your dog better? Yeah,
and the final little sneak peek we're going to give you, because there's way more that we're covering in the challenge, but my voice might not survive. So the final thing that we're going to share with you from the challenge is actually you're going to learn how your dog's brain works, and even more exciting, because it's one of the biggest questions that we get emailed about, is how your dog's hormones impact their behavior, whether they're male or female, and what you can do about it to actually turn that into something beneficial rather than potentially working against it, okay? Now, this is really cool because all of what we've described is going to be achieved through some knowledge, some skills, and some games that we're going to teach.
And you are going to leave this feeling absolutely empowered, excited, ready for action.
Yeah.
Ready for action.
So, if you've got your ticket for the challenge starts today. You need to make sure that you join the Facebook support group, because there's going to be live teaching each and every day happening in there. We're going to be covering all kinds of subjects. One of them, I'll give you a sneak peek on what is being covered in a live, is separation anxiety. How you can get your dog to be so comfortable being left home alone, or even separated from you while you are at home.
Both Tom and I see people all over from everywhere, from all walks of life, and actually this is something that is very, very common and very, very wanted, and actually just a tiny part of what you guys are doing, and yet it's actually the information we're going to impart and share.
It's huge.
Massive.
Huge, huge, huge. And there's a real separation anxiety pandemic right now. So that's going to be just one of the lives in there. So make sure you've joined that Facebook support group. Make sure that you watch the first lesson. If you haven't yet got your ticket, don't panic. absolutedogs.me/like-a-pro.
Get it now.
Follow that link and you get over 70% off your free bonus ticket to the extra seminar we're doing.
And your £50 store credit.
Yeah, when you show up for that live streamed seminar, you're going to get £50 coupon. So guys, jump into the challenge. We're really excited. We've been looking forward to this all year. That's how excited we are. We'll see you in the challenge. We'll also see you next week in the next episode of the Squirrel podcast. And remember, stay sexy!